Okay, so this morning I'm going to do a little bit on thumbnails. We've covered a lot of thumbnails in my Patreon site. That's patreon.com/MJ Roberts Studios. But what I want to do today is just have a brief look at how we do it visually. It's all right reading it, it's all right looking at pictures, but so video is a good way of seeing how I actually do it. Now, why do we need thumbnails? Well, they help to sort out the values. So it's like an exercise. It's like planning. So you plan your pictures, you plan where your values are, you plan the composition, colours, and this is a really good way of planning your values in a painting. So my definition of a thumbnail is I do it on a small scale. I don't need to do a large scale, but I do a quick thumbnail sketch and it allows me to paint with more freedom and expression. So basically I'm leaving out all the details and I'm concentrating on the big shapes. It's all about shapes, not about lines. It's about shapes and tones. Okay. When I'm just trying to think, the best way of practicing this, I guess, is if you get 4 or 5 photographs out that you really think, yeah, I can do a painting on this, then I suggest, get the 5 paint. You don't have to do the paintings right here then, but you could do the thumbnails for them. So using the Tri-Blend, which I have introduced on Patreon, I'm trying to get it to show you. This is the Tri-Blend Spectrum Noir. Now you'll see on there are 3 colours. IG6, which is light, then you've got IG8, which is a mid colour, and then you've got the dark, which is an IG9, and it all comes on one pen. Okay, and that allows you to just have one pen when you're out and about, or in your studio or in your workstation, and just do these thumbnails. They should be quick, but they take into account, like I say, the values, so you can actually value your picture. And when you've done the thumbnail, you can see if your picture's too spotty. There's black bits everywhere. You need it to be in blocks. So that's where we are. That's where I am with that one. I'm just thinking where to go next. Well, I think what I'll do now is, that's the picture that I've chosen to actually do a thumbnail from. So I'm just going to move that to one side, or I'll move you to one side. And there's the thumbnail I've done. Now, that is from that picture. If I can just move that so you can see both. Okay, just off to centre. If I push that a little bit that way. It's always difficult when you're doing a video with 2 mediums. Right, okay, so there's the thumbnail. Now I've just put some dark bits here on the front. That's just to indicate shadows, but again, I could only see those as dark shapes, so that's why they're very vague. And then we've got a mid-tone there, and the lightest tone is the light that I've actually chosen to leave that. I haven't even put any colour on it because it's sunshine. If you can see the sunshine over there on that ledge. Okay, so let me see if I can use a pen. So yes, that light there is indicated by this light patch here, and I couldn't really see it that well, which is not a bad thing. Like I say, it's only a sketch, and it is for blocking in values and different grades of tone. Okay, the sky is a light colour. There is some tone up there, as you can see up here, but that I can do as a separate entity. It has to talk to the floor, as you know, or the landscape, as you know, but we can do that at a separate time. But I just wanted to get the landscape in for that. Now then, I've done another one. Let me go to the other one. Which is this one, and the thumbnail for this is this one. Okay, can you see that? Right, so that thumbnail then again depicts the light area in the middle there, and it's got this hill at the front, which shows that this is dark at the front, and then there's some dark area at the side. If I can just move that so you can see the actual picture on its own. There we go. So you see the dark area in the front there. Okay, if I just, oh dear, if I just touch that, where's it gone? There it is. So if I just touch, I just wanted to touch that to get rid of that, that's why. So in the front there, you've got the trees, you've got some darkness, you've got the dark tones there, and a darker tone to that point. And then after that, this back piece is a mid-tone, but the lightest is that field there. So I wanted to keep that really light. So that's why on the thumbnail, you can see, on the thumbnail you can see I've left this light bit, I've left the light bit unpainted, on marker penned. So I've actually got 4 tones on here. So I've got the dark, I've got the medium, I've got the light, but I've got the lightest. Okay, and the sky I will deal with, I always deal with that separately anyway. Okay, so that's just a quick informative of how I do thumbnails. What I'm using, just to go into how I'm using things. Let's just take that away. I've got just pieces of tracing paper, and what I do is I lay them over the photograph. It can be a physical photograph, or like I've used there, a digital photograph, and just tape it down. Magic tape works. You get magic tape from any stationers, and just lay that down on the phone so it's stable, and then mark away, and it's as simple as that. So really, you know, if you don't want to print them off, the photographs, you can do what I've done and use a digital device and do your thumbnails from that. Makes it quick and easy. If you do 5, and just keep practicing to get those values correct. So then when you're painting, you've got something that's solid, you've got something that you know is going to work. It can also help with your leading edges, so leading the viewer into the picture. You know, you want to, so they work round the picture rather than they're sticking at one edge, or it's just not working because you've not got your values right, or you can use values to do that. Remember, you know, the armatures, remember, where you can do an S, or you can do an L, or anything, or you could do the circle, which again would be, you could do that in if you had a photograph that had got the circle, like the tunnel for focused, you can do that and use values to show that. So it is very useful to do thumbnails. So really, just to summarize that then, a thumbnail is a way of simplifying a picture ready for painting. So it simplifies it so you understand it, and you're not getting lost in the detail to start with. The detail comes after. I mean, if you've watched me long enough, you'll know that I can get down to detail straight away because I'm a realist painter, a pet portrait. So I have to really force myself to do this simplifying exercise so that I can keep it simple. And then if I wanted to go into detail, then I can. Okay, so really it's a lesson on how to simplify photographs ready for your painting. And you know, if you need to change the composition, you need to change the composition, but at this stage you could do it in planning rather than when you're actually in the middle of a pastel painting and it's like, oh, I really didn't want that there, I wanted it over here. So it's planning. So we all know that planning means that you produce a better piece of work, or planning a trip or something. If you plan it really well, it goes really, really well. So it's no different in painting. Okay, right, so